good afternoon. I bet you can guess what I'm going to say, can't you? It's a wet and a miserable and a horrible Friday afternoon. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon, and I think it's the 4th of March, but I'm not 100% sure. Could be the 3rd, so don't quote me. I get asked to put the date in front, which is alright if you actually know what date it is, isn't it? But you know, I've told you before, dates have no meaning to me. But for the lady who wanted to know what the stripy thing was in the corner, it's a very tatty old cushion in chenille. That's what it is. It's suffered rather badly from the animals. Used to have tassels on the end, but I will get some others. Right, well, I'll start off by telling you what I have been doing. Somebody said to me, what do you do with all your scraps and your bits and your pieces? Well, oh, sorry, I've got something in the eye. This is what I do with my scraps and my bits and my pieces. I make a shawl, or shawls. This one is actually a granny stitch one. And as you can see, every row is different. I just coordinate all the colours that I can. I hope you can see right to the top. I'll lift it up a bit so, just in case. That is what I do with my oddments and my bits. I make those kind of shawls, I make long slim shawls, I make scarves and hats. This is what I do with all my oddments. This time I decided to put a tassel on the end of it, yeah? So I'll turn it, oh, she's a bit creaky, I'll turn her around, but I don't think you can see her actually. I think she's now off camera. So what do? Well, I go and I collect all bits and pieces in my basket. Plain ones and all fancy ones that are underneath. That is what I collect. And I've also got my little bucket with some more in. I try not to do them in stripes, I try to do them in random stripes, you know. I don't want them to have a pattern, because then if I run out of a colour the pattern goes all wrong, doesn't it? So that's what I'm started doing. Oops, excuse me. Another one, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's going to be shades of creams, browns and oranges. Most of the fancy stuff is what I get from Ice Yarns. I have in the past bought what they're mixed bags. You get wands and things of everything. You get those. But you do tend to get rather a lot of these kind of colours. Where have we gone? Oh, my basket is running over. You tend to get a lot of these kind of colours. Somebody at Ice Yarns must have a passion for these kind of shades, because when you get a mixed bag you get an awful lot of these kind of shades. Not that I'm grumbling, I'm not grumbling, but I just wish they'd include some like reds occasionally or things like that. I don't think I've ever got anything with red in my mixed bags. They've always been browns and mustardy colours and oranges, apart from the occasional purple, which I think these were just oddments left over from packets that I bought, full packets. I think that kind of shade of purple was in one of my mixed bags. But mostly I don't seem to get any purple or any red or anything like that in the mixed bags. They always seem to be gold. Golds and greens. If I get, I mean, maybe if you buy the packages of the ordinary type wool, not the fancy boucle type yarn, yeah. Maybe you, should I hold it downwards? I don't know whether you can see it or not with it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing next. But I'm also breaking my rules in the fact that I'm actually doing two things at once. Two. Using my bag from Rick Rack Designs. And I am making a pattern. I think I mentioned the other day, didn't I, about a lady I've just got to know. She's a designer, she lives in the Philippines. And her name is Fatima Lasay, Lasay, I believe. And sorry about my printer is absolutely naff. If you want to look it up, you know, you'll get a nicer picture if you look her up. She's Fatima Lasse, and she does this glimmering poncho. But if you buy this pattern, which is probably about, it's less than $3 anyway, you also get like an overtop, a loose overtop pattern included in for free. She's got more patterns if you look her up on Ravelry. She's called Crochetology, I think, on Ravelry, I think. Or is she called Fatima Lasse? One or the other she's called. And she's got lots of free patterns on there as well. There's another nice shawl on a pattern site that I'm going to do next. So what am I making? Well, I'm making that, and I'm doing it in some gold glitter wool. If you remember, I showed it to you a couple of weeks ago that I got. It's not from ice, it's just what I picked up on my travels, and that's what I'm starting off doing. It's got to be sideways, yeah. I'm not going to give too much away because it's a paid for pattern, but I'm hoping to have that. Well, I'm hoping to have it finished, but I'm very bad when it's like 2 pattern rows and you have to go on and on and on for quite a few inches. I'm bad at that. So this is why I started doing the other shawl instead as well. So when I get a bit bored with one, I go to the other. I'm alright when they're small rows like this. I just get a bit bored when I get to the big rows at the bottom, you know. I'm alright with that. But when you get right to the very, very end and you've got, I mean, you've got to plan out your colours really, in the fact if you've got full balls or whatever, because when I get to the end here, it'll take a full 50-gram ball just to go around the edge. So if you've got any bits and bobs, you start off with those, because obviously it's going bigger as it's going downwards. I mean, this one hasn't been blocked, so I'm hoping it will go a bit bigger when it's been blocked. So we'll see how we go on. And then, after saying I wasn't going to get any more yarn, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? The Iceman cometh. Well, actually, he was supposed to come on Wednesday. I got a text message saying he was coming Wednesday. So I waited all Wednesday. I was, you know, even when I went for a shower Wednesday, this is how bad it was. I put a note on the door saying, please leave it in the porch because I'm in the shower. And I came downstairs to find that the gas man was reading it, and he said, I'm not DHSL, do I still stand in the porch? Hello. No, you don't stand in the porch, you come in, you read my meter. So anyway, the Iceman finally came about 8 o'clock last night. So I was going to do a video yesterday when the ice arrived. But, of course, at 8 o'clock at night, I'd started watching the TV. I'd got in my comfy clothes, you know how you do, and I thought, no, I'm not starting at this time of the night. Sue had rung me in the morning to say she wasn't coming. She got things to do, etc, etc. And she was working, actually, I think. She'd said she wouldn't be working, but she was working. Yeah, that's Sue's life in a nutshell, really. She says she's not working, and then they change her rota, and she is working. So, all being well, she's coming on Monday, so that should be fun. And next Friday, I've got another visitor calling. I've got Kelly from I'm Inspired. Is it I'm Yarn Inspired? She's coming up to visit me as well, so that would be nice. Right, ice. Of course, you knew I could not resist getting any more of the cakes. Now, this is my least favourite. So I'm going to wave it about so that you can see it, because I never know whether the light's going to shine on it wrong. That's my least favourite. Even though it's purples, it is my least favourite. I'm going to wave it around just so I'll get the angle right one day. Apparently, although the middle goes bright light and nobody can see it. This is all shades of lilacs and purples, but it's not got enough definition for me. It's just, you know, too much of a muchness. It'll probably be alright when it's made up. In fact, this one would be made up if I'd have brought more of it. It would be probably alright to make a garment with, because it hasn't got the complete change of the colours like the others do. I know we've got the Karen cakes coming into the UK, and I know we've got other things coming, but this still works out cheaper for me. Just trying to think what it was. It was about With the postage it was £37 I think, which I've got 8 balls. So I don't know what that works out at. But, see, I'm giving you a maths test so early on, aren't I? Right, that was one colour. The next colour is shades of green, which I don't think will be Sue's colour because I think it's a little bit bright and she likes her greens a little bit more subtle. I call them dirgy, she calls them subtle. Wouldn't do for us both to have it alike with our taste, would it? I do like this one. It's lime greens and turquoise greens. And I think it's olive green there. Olive green, lime green, turquoise. But you see what I mean about this compared to the purples? This one's got distinct, I hope you're not getting the glare in the middle. This has got distinct colours. None of these have any names. I don't think they've even got colour numbers, to be honest. You have to, no they don't have anything on them. All it says is 100% acrylic, 140 grams, which is 225 metres. And the recommended needle size is a US 8, a UK 5mm. And it's a number 4 thickness. But it doesn't have any colours. Unless they're on the package. Let me just have a look before I call myself a liar. No, it doesn't. It just says 47075. This one is another one on the shades of turquoise. This one is 47079. I like that one. Hope you can see it without me glaring at you. I still haven't got the mirror behind. I told Rose about it and she's been doing it. I think it was Margaret's idea, Margaret Orlando's, sheepishly sharing. But as I say, I have no idea whether you can see it or whether it's just a big white blur. I'm hoping that you can see it. I keep moving it from side to side, hoping that at one angle you'll get the right colour. So, see, I can't tell until I look back when the video's uploaded. Oh, the last video I made, 4 times I had to upload it. It kept cutting out in the middle for some strange reason. YouTube really did not like me that day. But once it cuts out, it won't resume uploading. You have to cancel it or start again from the beginning, which is very annoying at the time. Right, this one is 47074. I think that Sue might like this colour as well. It's sort of autumn. Well, it's not really autumnal because autumnal does have a bit of green in, doesn't it? But it is kind of autumnal with its colours. You know, the rusty colours and the mustards and the minky brown colour shades. I hope you can see it. I think the worst one I showed you was the bright coloured one when it just showed a big blur in the middle. So that's the... I'm sorry if you're trying to track it with your eyes as it's going across the screen. Mesmeric. But it's the only way I can know whether you see it or not. If I just hold it up in one place, I could have the angle wrong, couldn't I? I try to angle it downwards, but that works with patterns, doesn't it? Yeah. I've got no more patterns, you'll be glad to know. Apart from the amigurumis, which I'm going to give to a friend. Because there's no way, I'm just not going to use those patterns in there, and it's just going to be more paperwork in my craft room when I get it. I'm hoping, I think my son's got something to do this weekend. I'll feel a lot happy when he's just been round and he's just measured up, because then I'll feel I'm like kind of moving a bit, you know. Thank you everybody who's been looking on my Etsy shop and giving me likes and things like that. It's very nice. At least I know what you're looking for. To the ladies who seem to be a bit confused about me sizing, I put bust sizes down and that in inches because I get very confused with your US sizing as opposed to UK sizing. And in any case, UK sizing varies from brand to brand. So I prefer not to put like UK 16 or whatever. I prefer to just put inches down, you know, because then there's no confusion, is there? If you measure yourself around the bust with your tape measure, you'll know then whether it will fit you or it won't, yeah. By and large, I'm open to making slightly different variations of what I've already done, but I'm not really open to anybody suggesting a pattern to me that might be very, very fine or very intricate. Crocheting to me is my pleasure, and if I love doing what I'm doing, then I like doing it, if you know what I'm saying. So I do prefer by and large to sell what I've already got. But if somebody says to me, well, I'm only size this, you know, can you make something in red or something like that, then I'm quite open to suggestions, yeah. But I don't do fine work because of my fingers. They don't grip anything fine. So no, I don't do mats, I don't do Afghans, don't do big blankets, don't do things like that. And to the lady who asked about shawls, Sue and her shawls, she did say she'd take it on board and she'd start, but she's just been so mowed down this week. She hasn't even picked up a crochet hook this week, you know, because of work and things like that. I keep telling her she has to give up work. But unfortunately we couldn't, like me, we couldn't make a living out of our crochet. Excuse me, I'm going froggy. I mean, for me, it just supplements my income, the little bit that I get. But for Sue, obviously, you know, she's of working age. She needs her wages. So until the day comes when we, you know, high flyers and we have people paying us £200 or something for a cardigan in that, we still will be working. Oh, I will be a pensioner, as usual. What happened to me at hospital? Don't ask. The taxi driver and I battled our way down in the snow, in traffic that was stop, 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 stop. Gets there late, a little bit late. She said, oh, it doesn't matter, everybody's late. She said, even the specialist hasn't turned up. He's stuck in the traffic. So I thought, oh, that's fine, it's okay. So sits down, goes to reach me crocheting out, and only to find I'd brought a bag with just 2 balls in it. No hook, no pattern, nothing. I brought the wrong bag. So I thought, oh, this is brilliant. I'm going to be sitting here for hours now with nothing to do. Anyway, my name got called, so I thought, well, that was quick. So I goes in, and this rather handsome man I've never seen before was there. And he said, I haven't seen you before, have I? And I said, no, not that I remember. Oh. Well, why are you in my clinic then? I said, I have got no idea. I said, my letter says I'm going to see Mr. Kim. Oh, well, I'm Mr. Khan, he said. You're not in my clinic. Although you are in my clinic, you shouldn't be in my clinic because you're not my patient. He said, we don't like to tread on each other's toes unless, like Mr. Kim's asked me for a second opinion. So he goes tripsing through all the stuff and he says, no, it doesn't appear that he's asked me to look at you. So I'm very, very sorry, but, you know, you've had a wasted journey. So back I goes in the rain and the snow and the hail. So I spent £30-something on taxis, all for nothing. I mean, the nurse was very apologetic and the specialist, he was really lovely. I thought, I wish you were my specialist. I did get to show him my knee. And I said that the GP had refused to write me a letter to give me a second opinion, and he said, I don't see why not. I said, well, he said, ask Mr. Kim, and I said, well, I just feel very embarrassed. You know, to go to the surgeon who's done your knee operation and say, excuse me, but I don't think it's right. Can you have another look at it? Or can you send me somewhere else, you know? I don't want to upset him, you know, because once you upset a specialist, like, you're off the list, aren't you, basically. So, I've got to wait now for another appointment to come. Did he say it could only happen to me? I wish it was true. It happens to too many people for it to be only happening to me. I can't tell you the number of times over the years I've got to the hospital to be told my appointment's been cancelled and I should have had a letter. Or the specialist hasn't turned in, he's got a domestic emergency, or his car's broke down, or whatever. It might sound pessimistic, but I kind of expect it now, you know. If I actually get there and get in to see the right person, it's like, yay, I've won the lottery. If you're in the US, you've got no idea. Yes, we have a free NHS service. It's not free actually because we're paying for it out of our wages when we were working. But we have to wait forever for an appointment, and then when we get there it's the wrong specialist, and you know. So if you can go in within a month and see the right specialist and get on your way, count your lucky stars. You may have to pay for it, but then so do we, indirectly. I mean, we pay in and we also pay for everybody else's operations as well, you know. We don't just pay for our own. It would be nice if we had our own little pot of money that we paid in over the years, wouldn't it? You know, you could draw against what you've paid in, but then of course it wouldn't be fair to the people who've been ill all their life and never been able to work. So, anyway, enough about me. So we've got milestones this week. Sean Crafty Corner, her little boy was 4. So happy birthday. And poor little Daniel has not been very well at all. He's maybe have to have an operation to remove rods and things in his back. He's not been very well, and neither has his brother. So it's not been a very good week. Sue's not been well at the beginning of the week. I've been the same as usual. Although I am supposed to be having an appointment with Spain. Wish I was having an appointment in Spain with a pain specialist very shortly. God willing, and the hospital getting the date right. They'll probably send me to maternity next, I don't know. I haven't been there for 47 years, so it's another department I might go to one day. So apart from that, there's not a lot been happening in my life, really. I'm going out for breakfast with my elder niece. I was supposed to go last week, but one or two things happened and she couldn't do it. Doesn't bother me because, you know, I'm just grateful when she comes, so it doesn't bother me if she doesn't get here, you know. It's not set in stone, is it? Things happen in life and you can't always control, can you? But I don't know whether we're going Saturday or Sunday. I'll have to find that out. Saturday's that tomorrow. See what I mean about my days going by? Yeah, I think it's Saturday tomorrow. I think it's Friday today. Wait while you're retired. You won't know what day it is either. Yes. So I've got no more yarn to arrive, you know, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. So I'll just... Oh, there's my phone now. It'll be somebody and nothing, but I will say goodbye to you anyway. So bye for now.